The scariest wildlife encounters. A visit to the zoo and having close encounters with wild animals is one experience we all would love to have. Sometimes, when people interact casually with animals, their behavior is inappropriate, deliberately provocative, ill-informed, or careless, and this can have catastrophic or even deadly consequences. The outcomes of such encounters, which often result in people or animals suffering injury or even death, seem all the more tragic because they could have easily been avoided had the human participants practiced a little more common sense. Here are some of the scariest wildlife encounters that you normally see on TV that you won't believe happened in real life. So sit back and enjoy the show and thank the heavens you haven't ever faced these situations. But before you get totally hooked, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons first and ring the notification bell or a spider will take up residence under your warm sheets. A woman scares the crocodile with a flip-flop. In 2016, a video of a woman making noise with her flip-flop to scare away crocodiles in Coyote National Park, Australia, became a viral sensation. A woman with her dog saw a saltwater crocodile going towards them, so she slapped her flip-flop at it to scare it away. While she was successful, confronting a crocodile is a risky thing to do. A crocodile's jaw crushes down on its victim with 3,700 pounds per square inch of force. That's more than 3.5 times the bite of a lion and 25 times that of a human. Historically, crocodile attacks are 100 times deadlier than shark attacks and far more frequent, ranging from harrowing individual confrontations to a mass attack on World War II soldiers. So, the next time you see a crocodile, back away slowly and try not to make sudden movements. Splashing in water will only draw attention. If a crocodile heads your way, run away in a straight line. Woman attacked by an elk. A woman was gored by a bull elk in Missouri's Lone Elk Park on October 8th while walking among the park's herd of 17 animals and taking selfies with 3 other people, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported. The group approached close to the herd, despite signs warning visitors to stay at least 100 feet away from the elk. A nature photographer nearby watched the scene unfold as the dominant male bellowed a warning and then charged, according to the Post-Dispatch. Elk are one of the largest members of the deer family, second only to moose in height and heft. Adult males can measure up to 9 feet or 3 meters long and weigh as much as 830 pounds or 376 kilograms. The elk's horns connected with the woman's arm, and she was bleeding after the encounter, the Post-Dispatch reported. Lesson: don't ignore warning signs. A coyote encounter. A Rhode Island man had a frightening encounter with a wild animal in a public park. He came face to face with a coyote that he says blocked his path for nearly half an hour. Daniel Torres caught it all on video. He said in a report that he took out his phone to record the scary situation he found himself in, thinking people might not believe it without evidence. The coyote blocked his way and circled around him on the walking path at Merino Park. Torres says he didn't hit the animal with a stick but swung it in the coyote's direction, trying to ward it off as it kept lunging towards him. He said the animal finally took off into the woods. According to experts, it was strange behavior. Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management wildlife biologist Charlie Brown watched Torres's video. It's typical for a coyote to get curious, stop and size someone up, but this is a step beyond. This is the time of the year, Brown says, the state starts to see more calls about coyote interactions. Brown suggested doing as Torres did if anyone encounters the animal. Stand your ground, look big facing the animal, confronting the animal, not trying to run away. A girl grabbed by a sea lion. A young girl was swiftly and unexpectedly yanked off a wharf in British Columbia, Vancouver, when a sea lion grabbed the hem of her dress and pulled her into the ocean. The moment was captured on video and posted to YouTube on May 20, 2017. The video shows the girl crouching by the edge of the dock while the sea lion swims close by, perhaps lured by people beckoning it, pretending to have food. The animal released her almost immediately, and seconds later, an adult jumped into the water and pulled the girl to safety. Likely, the sea lion mistook her dangling dress for something edible, Andrew Trites, director of the Marine Mammal Research Unit at the University of British Columbia, said in reports. The Cobra King and the King Cobra. The so-called Cobra King of the Philippines built a reputation upon his affinity for snakes and frequently treated himself after being bitten. But on December 2, 2017, while the man was removing his pet cobra from a storage box on his motorcycle, the snake bit him on the hand. The Cobra King allegedly cut off the snake's head and drank its blood, and then died shortly thereafter, according to reports. However, it is unlikely that drinking the snake's blood contributed to the man's death, as snake blood does not contain the toxins found in their venom. Most likely, it was the snake bite itself and failure to seek treatment that killed the Cobra King, according to reports. A very close encounter with a boa. When a boa unexpectedly sank its teeth into a woman's nose and wrapped its body around her neck, firefighters that were called to the scene were unable to remove the snake and were forced to decapitate it. During the incident, which took place in Sheffield, Ohio, the woman tried to remove the snake herself, but eventually had to call 911 for help, and she was lying in her driveway when the firefighters arrived. It was wrapped around her neck and biting her nose, Sheffield Lake Fire Chief Tim Card told in reports. They had to cut its head off with a knife to get it to let go, Card said. This behavior is highly unusual for boas, and likely occurred because the woman held the snake up to her face, experts said. Tiger roaming. A tiger was spotted roaming around a Houston neighborhood Sunday, terrifying neighbors and passersby. It was seen wearing a collar and prowling around outside of a home when an off-duty sheriff's deputy encountered the wildcat, seemingly in response to sightings from neighbors. The encounter was caught on video by a neighbor, according to local news. In the video, the sheriff's deputy can be seen pointing a gun at the tiger as the animal slowly walks towards him. Then, an unidentified man is seen luring the tiger back onto his property and into the house. Witnesses said the man was pleading with the deputy not to shoot. It's unclear if the man is the owner of the tiger, and it hasn't been determined whether the apparent owner of the animal will face any charges. No one was hurt during the encounter. The sheriff's deputy that encountered the tiger made a call to the Houston Police Department during the incident to alert them. But by the time police arrived, witnesses said the tiger had been taken away, said the Houston Police Department. Tigers are not allowed in the city of Houston, but they are legal in the surrounding Harris County if properly registered under a strict set of rules and safety guidelines, including holding $100,000 in animal insurance and keeping the tiger secured at least 1,000 feet from another home, school, or child care facility. In the majority of cases, wild animals encounters are a non-issue. While you're on the trail, it's fun to see animals, but you should always use common sense and know what to do if an animal encounter goes wrong. Follow signs and respect it. Have you encountered any wild animals? Then share your thoughts in the comments section below and be heard. Don't forget to be the first to share this video with your friends and warn them on their next wildlife encounters. Thank you for watching and see you again in our next video.